What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg.
And I'm Son.
And welcome back to the Gentleman Juggcast. I believe this is episode 49. How you doing today, boy?
It's all right. 49ers.
What?
49ers.
No. Fuck you with that. We're not starting off this podcast with that book. I had to start this whole thing all over again. That's what I should say. We celebrate Cowboys in this house. Okay? So please check us out on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, all under the name Gentleman Jugg. Do the like, subscribes, all that nonsense, 5 stars, whatever the hell they ask you to do, just do it, please. And we'll get into the show. What's going down, boy?
Well, we got so many things to talk about today.
Yeah, we do. We got something to talk about. What's this week's movie?
IronMan 2.
IronMan 2. I believe it came out in 2010. But that's besides the point. So we got something else to talk about first. And it's not road wrestling just yet. Okay? There's something I got to get off my chest. So we reviewed The Batman. Okay? It was a complete spoiler-free review. 5 minutes, only up on YouTube. And I enjoyed talking about that movie. But then something came out. Like, just last week. And it really fucking just threw my dick right in the dirt. Right in the dirt. Okay? There's a deleted scene that was 5 minutes that had the Joker in it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Now, I'm a big fan of the Joker.
Oh, you are?
I'm a huge fan of the Joker. I love the Joker. I think he's great. The character who's funny to only himself, I think he's fantastic. I will say this, at some point after The Dark Knight, all of a sudden we got flooded with nothing but the Joker.
I know, I'm like, where's Batmite at?
Yeah, where's the ventriloquist?
Where's Crazy Quilt?
Right? Where's Polka Dot Man? Well, we got Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. But, you know, it irritated me because this was one of those times where I was like, hey, the final scene at the end of the movie was shit. It was a bowl of shit.
It was a middle finger.
I didn't like it. But then this comes out, and I'm like, why didn't we see this? Why wasn't this in the movie? I love that scene. I thought it was great. And I'm pissed off that it wasn't in the movie. This probably would have gave it a 5 from me. Okay? If they would have added that one scene.
This one scene would have made it a 5.
Other scenes from movies have made it a 5. For me, from other movies. So, I don't know. It just, I'm mad. I'm upset.
And your day's ruined?
My disappointment is not immeasurable.
Oh, okay.
But it hurts. Okay.
Would it be funny if they just slapped this scene in like the Wonder Woman movie or something?
Just like put it in a random movie.
Yeah.
That's not the Batman.
Like Wonder Woman 3.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Let's get into this movie. What's it called again, boy?
Oh, IronMan 2.
IronMan 2. Like I said, I think it came out in 2010. But I could be wrong. I didn't look it up. I'm a terrible podcaster. I'm awful. I should have done it, but I didn't do it. But what I did do is we watched this movie, and let's get into it. So this movie just starts, and I like that. I'm never gonna not like that. Just start, okay?
You don't want the monologues or like the super long origin story or the super long flashback or the.
I don't need all that. You act like I didn't watch the movie. Don't give me that shit. Just start.
Or the super long opening credits.
This movie does have super long opening credits, but they're doing something productive with the opening credits, right? And this movie just starts, and I'm all about that. Just start, okay? Just start. Um, like I don't know what we watched, and it did show Iron Man 2, after all this, but this takes place immediately after the last one, where Whiplash's father dies.
And he looks younger than his son.
Yeah, and he does look younger than his son. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know what it is, but he looks like Professor Xavier to me. His father looked like Professor Xavier.
I mean, okay, because no, he fucking doesn't.
He did, though. He for like a second.
All right.
It's kind of funny.
If you say so. I didn't see that at all. We got Whiplash, or Ivan Vanko, as they call him. They don't ever call him Whiplash at all.
Oh, I didn't know who he was, so when I first saw this movie, I'm like, oh, it's the man with the whips, the electric whip man, Whippaloo.
Whippaloo. Okay. He's being played by Mickey Rourke, who's doing his absolute best to give us a Russian accent. And well, it's fine, but then like as soon as his dad dies, because his dad saw Tony Stark say, "I'm Iron Man,"
He
Mickey,
dies from that.
well, he didn't die from that. He was dying already, but he does die, and then Ivan Vanko freaking screams. That's what he sounded like to me, and it was funny as I laughed. I don't think it was meant to be funny, but I laughed. So we get to see Ivan Vanko build a reactor out of a box of scraps. So
That's how you build a reactor.
that's how you do it. That if you want to freaking show how smart you are, you'll build a reactor out of a box of scraps, right?
In some dark place.
Yeah, in some deep, dark place. I mean, listen, okay? It wasn't a box of scraps that Iron Man built his freaking reactor from, okay? They had 3 or 4 Jericho missiles that he sat there and broke down and took some parts from them to make his freaking thing. All right? It wasn't a box of scraps. It was a handful of missiles. All right? Now, Vanko, I don't know where he got his shit from. But as far as I can tell, it was a box of scraps. Okay?
Plot box
of scraps. So I guess he's smart, right?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2. We cut to Iron Man standing in the back of a plane as Iron Man, who's being played by Robert Downey Jr. this time, just like he was last time. And he jumps out of a plane, because he's a badass, and he's performing at the Stark Expo. With his iron cheerleaders and playing AC/DC. And look, if it was me, if I was Iron Man, I would do the exact same thing. Okay? I'm just saying. I would do the exact same thing, have my freaking costume be taken off, and, you see me with the cheerleaders and we're playing AC/DC or some other popular music band. And, we'd be showing it up. Yes, I'm great. You understand? Okay. Apparently it's been 6 months since the first movie, according to this movie. Okay. So in those 6 months, he's been being poisoned by palladium, which is what they're calling the element here.
in his chest.
Yeah, and it's got toxicity. Now, at this particular point in the movie, he's at 19%. Now, I don't know how it hasn't been affecting him this whole time, but
It is now.
it is right now, and this movie takes place within a week. So,
Plot virus.
yeah,
I was gonna say it was Corona, but
it's not. So whatever. So we realize that I guess he's been being poisoned for about 6 months, but I mean, it's just now starting to hit him. So after this entire thing with the Stark Expo, which is like the background event
For
for this movie, we cut to Stark getting hit with a deposition, and he goes to court where he completely shows out. I love it. We even get to meet the new roadie being played by Don Cheadle. If you know the story, you know. If you don't, go read a book.
I like his line when he first shows up.
What does he say?
I think he's like, "I'm here. That's me. Deal with it."
Yeah. I mean, that's just what they basically said. I mean, this wasn't Disney at the time, I don't think. So it's basically, just him saying, hey, it happened. You don't like it? Tough titties. Okay.
Like,
So,
too bad.
yeah, too bad. We also meet Justin Hammer. He's being played by Sam Rockwell in this movie. And turns out the government, they want the Iron Man suit. They've been wanting it for the past 6 months because, Iron Man has become the greatest representation of a phoenix. And this entire time.
Not the Phoenix.
No, not the Phoenix. But, hey, great representation of it.
Yeah.
Can't be beaten, even though he's been doing it for 6 months on his best day, is what he said. But, like, you got an Iron Man suit. It's not like you're going out there without the suit and beating people up. Okay, you're in the Iron Man suit that you built, and you're killing bad guys with this prosthesis, as he says it in the movie. But it's a weapon. It has missiles on it.
It's a prosthesis.
Okay.
It's just an extension.
Yeah.
It's just a fake arm.
But they tried hard, but they're not gonna get it. So no suits being given to the government at this time. So we come up with the D story, and it's the D story even though it's being played in the very front for some reason. Tony Stark is giving his company to Pepper Potts. I think that's stupid. I've always hated when characters, lose their companies or lose their base or, where they're broke or they're whatever. Okay, I don't really like that.
I like it when it's Corbin though.
Yeah, Baron Corbin. Fuck him. Right. I like Baron Corbin. I do. I just don't like I'm not getting into that. We're getting into this, okay? Pepper Potts is being played by Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know how crazy their actual person is, Gwyneth Paltrow, but I know Pepper is the least crazy in this movie, in my opinion. Okay? But she's running the company. So, I guess she's happy. So then we enter with Black Widow, being played by Scarlett Johansson.
But we don't know it's Black Widow yet.
Well, we're not supposed to. But, well,
we know.
Yeah, we know. But in this movie, in this particular scene, she's absolutely gorgeous. Okay? And of course, we would later learn that she's Black Widow. But she gets to beat Happy Hogan, who's played by Jon Favreau. She gets to beat his ass. And I just thought it was great. She's gorgeous here.
Reminded me of the Blob scene.
The Blob scene.
From X-Men.
Oh, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? No, this didn't remind me of that at all. But hey, who would have known that there would be two superhero movies where a superhero would fight a heavier sized character in the same year? Was it the same year?
Who knows?
No, I don't know. So, Tony Stark is being a complete asshole in this movie, and there's a lot of scenes where, characters are talking over each other at the same time. I guess it's supposed to be quirky, but I don't like it.
I'm like, it's not, it could be worse. It could be Carnage.
Yeah, it could be Carnage. So we'll cut to Monaco, okay? Because there's a lot of exposition happening here. A lot of things happening all at once, and none of it's action. Okay? We haven't even really seen Iron Man fight anybody.
No.
Up to this point.
We haven't even seen the main villain that much.
Yeah.
We just heard him scream, and then he went away.
Yeah.
I guess he powered up.
I guess so, which we'll talk about here in a second. So we cut to Monaco, and Tony Stark is being even more of an asshole. And he takes his chance, and he decides to go ahead and drive his Formula One car in a race. And right then, because somehow he's on a pit crew and knew that Tony was going to be in Monaco at this time. That Tony was going to race his F1 car. This is Ivan Vanko, the Whiplash. He attacks.
He's got that Randy Orton intelligence.
Yeah. And it looks cool because, of course, it does. Especially when Happy decides to get inside of his Rolls Royce and onto a closed course, and he's driving, dodging F1 cars, going F1 speeds in his Rolls Royce, which is very much not an F1 car. I believe they're V12 engine. I think they are. But they can't keep up with an F1 car, especially if they're driving at you.
Yeah.
And he's just dodging them.
Plot car.
I just do this. So, Whiplash, beyond all reason, who should have been hit by one of these cars at any point in time, somehow is dodging them too.
Ultra instinct.
Yeah. And he even recognizes and attacks Tony Stark's car, which should be coming at him at the blink of an eye. He recognizes the car first.
Yeah.
And then he's able to swing his hand and destroy that car too.
I'm like, how?
How did you do that?
He's just better than you.
He's better than you. Yeah. And then Happy hits Whiplash with a car.
Yeah. He's a normal human.
Hits him with a car. And he's pinned up against a wall. And he's still alive. No destroyed, midsection, no crushed pelvis.
Just a little blood.
A little blood spurting up from his mouth, which is supposed to imply internal bleeding somehow. But, he's fine.
He gets hit like 5 times with the car.
At least 5.
And he just walks it off. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Now, I kind of want to dig into this a bit, son. A little bit. If I may. How in the hell did Whiplash even know that Tony was going to be in Monaco at this time? Doing this exact thing.
He's the best.
He's the best. That's what it is. He's the best.
Maybe that scream was echolocation.
Who knows? Who knows? But he got tickets. Like, you see him get tickets from some guy in a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how he knew Tony was going to be in Monaco on this date at this time. Somehow he got his schedule, his itinerary, whatever. And he got on a plane and went there. Took his freaking arc reactor, which should have looked like a bomb on the plane, right?
He's better than you.
Okay. And then he got there. And then he freaking attacked Tony Stark. He dressed up as a pit crew because, he knew Tony Stark was going to freaking drive the car.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew it. Tony Stark is going to drive this car. That's what he said. Well, he didn't say that, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying he said. And then he freaking just opened the door, because of course he could. I wouldn't be surprised if other pit crew guys couldn't do that. But, he's just dodging cars. They're driving right through him. Nobody's saying anything, really. And then he sees Tony Stark's car coming at F1 speeds. And he sees it. And before, he has to see it, recognize it, and then attack it. He did all those in milliseconds, according to the way that this should go.
He's fast.
Yeah. And then he gets attacked by a car and doesn't die.
And he's a human.
Yeah. And not only that, when Tony Stark finally does get the Iron Man suit after them fucking goofing off for forever, when he finally gets the suit, he puts it on, he's able to get out and still fight him.
And he beats him up pretty bad.
For a while.
I'm like, what is this?
Ridiculous.
Who is this guy?
Okay. He even was able to take those freaking, whips and throw a fully grown man. I don't know how heavy the suit is. It can't be that heavy if Pepper Potts can freaking pick it up and, and throw it at him as a suitcase. But he picks it up and he throws Tony Stark by the neck, which is a fully grown human being. I'm going to say maybe 200 pounds. Maybe. 200 pounds to throw a 200-pound guy is kind of heavy, especially after you've been hit by a car 4 or 5 times.
Well, not for this guy.
Not for this guy. He's better than you. Um, so with that, Tony Stark does win, does beat him, does take the arc reactor out of his chest, and that's that.
I guess it's safe to say that Whiplash can join the ranks of guys better than you, like with Webster from Superman 3.
You mean Gus?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name was not Webster. Webster was the Lex Luthor type villain, I guess.
Well, I say he's better than you because he's got the ski lodge. That's what makes him better.
That's what makes him better than you. Anyways, this movie should have ended with Happy after he hit him with a car. Happy is the hero, movie over. That's what should have happened.
Not here.
Not here. But whatever. Iron Man beats his ass. And Justin Hammer's watching this. And,
he's like, cool.
Yeah. And so, who's the main villain here? Is it Justin Hammer or is it Whiplash?
Bird.
Yeah, the bird. Look, Justin Hammer in this movie does way more than the actual villain Whiplash does.
And I don't think he's supposed to be the main villain.
But he's doing more than the main villain. Anyways, so back in Monaco, I don't know why it wrote Vance. It's Vanko. Manages to escape prison, and he gets to meet Hammer. And Hammer, of course, wants to make Iron Man suits because everybody wants to make Iron Man suits. It's just like how everybody wanted to make a super soldier serum. Sure, why not?
That's a later movie.
Yeah, that's a different movie. And then there's exposition. Just bullshit. For a while in this second act. Just a lot of bullshit.
Like, I want my bird.
Yeah, I want my bird. Your drone. The drone is better. Your robots are shit. Your software is shit. Like, okay. That's how my Russian accent is just as good as Mickey Rourke's Russian accent. Here, okay? So back to Tony Stark. He's still trying to play hero, but he's dying. So he decides to go ahead and get an Iron Man suit and get drunk for his birthday. Okay, Rhodey gets to his house to celebrate his birthday and sees Tony Stark drunk in an Iron Man suit. So he gets pissed off. He decides to go ahead and steal an Iron Man suit and fights Iron Man, beats his ass, and then takes the suit.
What's funny about this scene is that he hits Iron Man with the sink, and I'm like, this is the sink before BVS.
Yeah, he hit him with the kitchen sink. Was it a kitchen sink? It was a sink. So...
yeah, I mean, the other sink from BVS was like a bathroom sink.
Yeah. And Nick Fury, who's being played by Sam Jackson, he comes in and he says, how did he take your suit?
Like, how? Was there no security or whatever?
Nothing. He came in, he whooped your ass, and he took your suit. How did he do that?
It's like,
they don't even explain it. They just like,
it happened.
Yeah.
He's a better Iron Man than you.
He is. Came in, he whooped your ass with no weapons.
And just took your suit and left.
Yeah. He's better than you, Tony. Okay, so, I don't know. Nick Fury is telling Tony about New Mexico, where Thor would be, and we see Black Widow in costume talking about a new element that should help Stark cure himself. Fine. It's fine.
Yeah. A later movie.
Yeah, also turns out that Vanko is not making suits, he's making drones.
Oh.
Yeah, so we also get a scene with Hammer after Rhodey takes the freaking suit. We get a scene with Hammer talking about weaponizing the Iron Man suit. I get it. I understand that the U.S. government can make the weapons that Hammer is selling. They have them already. But they don't know how to put them into an Iron Man type suit. I mean, you can see that Hammer's been working on this for a while because he has a bunch of suits that, quote, look like Iron Man suits. I don't know why I said quote. That was the wrong thing to say.
Quote.
Yeah. They look like Iron Man suits. And it's just it's he should know how to weaponize these things. So when they give him a pistol, he should be able to weaponize that into an Iron Man suit, right?
Yep.
Anyways, there's more exposition. Tony learns about his dad. Vanko's betraying Justin Hammer. Stark does the cool teardown scene where he, makes the new element. And then it's third act time.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the random thing with Coulson looking at Captain America's shield, and he's like, "You know who this is?" He's like, "No."
No, I don't care. So, at Justin Hammer's presentation at the Stark Expo, he comes out dancing, and I was like, I want to be able to do that. His footwork is fantastic.
It's like Shane McMahon footwork.
I love it. It was great. But Justin Hammer shows off all of his new tech, which is a bunch of drones, and War Machine is here too.
Why not?
Yeah, and then right then Iron Man shows up, and that leads Vanko to taking over all the suits and drones, except for Iron Man, and they begin their attack on Iron Man, and it looks cool. It does. Okay. We even get to see Peter Parker making his appearance. It wasn't Peter Parker in the beginning,
But
I just want to emphasize that.
Marvel's like, see, he was in here the whole time.
The whole time.
It's like, we got him here before we got to see Captain America, Thor, or even the Avengers.
Yeah, we got him here. Okay, they retconned the shit out of it, and look, it makes sense. It makes sense that would be Peter Parker. I would just wish that somebody would say something, in a Spider-Man movie. Yeah, I was there. Tony Stark saved my life. I don't recall them ever saying that in the movies. Maybe somebody saw something in a movie that I haven't seen. But I know that that's retcon to be Peter Parker.
Like, see, he was here before Captain America and Thor.
He did it. But whatever. This isn't like an outrageously great scene. It's fine. It's serviceable. I don't hate it.
I just say, it's Spooderman!
Pretty much, yeah. I guess you could say that if you want to. Meanwhile, at this time, Black Widow is breaking into Hammer Industries to go and get Vanko.
This is a great scene.
It's a great scene. She beats some ass.
I was like, when I was watching this scene, I'm like, if only her movie was as good as this scene.
Yeah.
Because, like, this
was
awesome.
A great scene. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Maybe best scene in this movie?
No, I don't think so.
Or at least up there.
I think it's up there, yeah.
I just like seeing Happy Hogan trying to struggle to fight one guy.
That's the joke. He's struggling to fight one dude, and he wins, He's
like, I did it. I beat him.
Yeah, she's taken out like 30 guys. At least 30. Probably 30. So, anyways, she hacks into Rhodey's suit and gives him back to Tony Stark. And then Rhodey and Stark fight, some more drones, and it looks cool for the 10 seconds it's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hammer gets arrested, and I guess he's out of the MCU.
He's never seen again.
He's seen one more time in like some little extra scene or something like that, but for the most part, he's out. Then Vanko shows up, and, this fight is also cool for the 3 seconds it's on.
Yeah, this ending is really fast.
Yeah. What an epic fight.
With the Birdman himself.
Yeah.
Or I guess Whippy.
I guess. Call him whatever you want.
Whippish.
They can't all be funny. Look. This is all boring. Okay, it just this is supposed to be the sequel to one of the bigger movies of the MCU, the first Iron Man, and this is what we get for a final battle. Okay, and it truly ends when Vanko's like, "You lose," and he freaking decides to blow up every single robot that was there, and this prompts Tony to save Pepper, and he does.
Yay.
Yeah. And cut to the next scene where we get to see Tony looking at a scene of, looking at a file of the Avenger Initiative. Look, a lot of these freaking scenes when they came out in theaters, because I saw just about all of them in theaters, they gave me goosebumps because of how big they felt like this big thing is coming. and they gave me goosebumps. And this was another one of those scenes that, like, I was like, ooh,
That end credit scene gave me goosebumps because that sound.
the lightning.
Yeah, because they show Coulson drive out, and he's like, "I found it," and they show Thor's hammer, and then they play the lightning. Like the hammer's cool, but when they play the lightning, like that's chills still.
Yeah, you get chills because you're like, oh, something big is happening. And this movie, it kind of dropped the ball for me. You know what I'm saying? It kind of failed to do what it needed to do, which was tell its own standalone movie. This is one of those movies that actually kind of came out and started selling other movies before itself.
No, don't worry. Marvel's got another one, another two out
I
there.
mean, it's not getting old anytime soon
Nope.
with Marvel. You know, but what do you give this movie, boy?
Well, I mean, probably like I want to say like maybe the highest two.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. I was giving it a pretty decent 2, because this movie just isn't. It's not up to par. It could have been better. It should have been better, and it wasn't better. The first Iron Man movie was great because I was expecting it to suck.
I didn't know who Iron Man was until I watched it, so I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah, I was expecting Iron Man to really, really suck because I'd been victim to plenty of superhero movies that came out, didn't really get like the gist of the character right, you know, and then they fucked off, and they only had a one-time movie and that was it, you know, and the first Iron Man movie was great, and when they came out with Iron Man 2, we were like, okay, they're really going to do this Avengers thing, and it's really going to be great. And we don't have to explain characters anymore. We don't have to sit there and tell the people why Tony Stark is like this, why Pepper is like this, why Happy's like this. We don't got to do all that stuff, so we can just go. So, you know, they couldn't Spider-Man 2 it. They just Iron Man 2'd it, and they fucking made it worse because they tried to sell other movies on top of this. And that's why this movie gets a 2 from me. It just didn't hit the ball out of the park.
That's all right. There's, you know,
at least freaking 30 more of these movies.
Yeah.
So, you know, do they get better? I guess we'll find out sooner or later because the next one will be available
when it's ready.